I'm Dolly Duffy, the Executive Director of your Notre Dame Alumni Association, and it is such a privilege to be here with all of you. I'm honored that I get to present the first of two awards today to a member of the Notre Dame family who has truly devoted himself to the service of students and community. This award, the Dr. William P. Sexton Award, was established in 2001 and honors non-alumni of Notre Dame who have contributed outstanding service to the university and whose lives exemplify the spirit of the university. It's named for the late Bill Sexton, a former vice president for university relations and professor of management who passed away last October. I would be incredibly remiss if I didn't say that this award is named after a man who brought a spark, an optimism, an enthusiasm, and joy everywhere he went. And we're honored today to have his son, Tim Sexton, with us. Tim. And with a description like that, this year's honoree certainly fits the bill. Dwight King, Library Emeritus of the Notre Dame Law School, arrived in South Bend in 1986 and has since been a pillar of the university and the city. Some would say quite a turnaround after earning his bachelor's, JD, and master's of law degree from Michigan. I like to think that he saved the best for last. As a member of the law school faculty, Dwight taught on subjects of legal research and writing. This says taught, but in our conversation, you've gone back to teaching. Is that right? And so you continue to devote yourself to our students. You published your own scholarly articles in prominent legal journals. You served as a committee member with the American Association of Law Libraries. But his academic prowess falls really distant second to his dedication to the students. For 25 years, he was the faculty advisor for the Black Law Students Association, acting not only as an academic resource, but in support in and out of the classroom. For example, every year, Dwight and his lovely wife, Mary, who I've known for a long time and didn't know until I prepared for this, that she was married to Dwight. Each year, they host the BLSA Fall Party at their home, underscoring their role in providing aid and membership to the members. Dwight has similarly opened his home to international students unable to travel home during Thanksgiving, and his garage, apparently, to those in need of bike repairs or maintenance. And we had a conversation today about travel and places that we'd like to go, and it turns out that he doesn't just like to work on bikes, he likes to work on his own bike as well, because he's quite an accomplished rider. Isn't that right? You can tell, yeah, you're never gonna say yes. In 1997, the BLSA recognized his efforts by establishing the Dwight King Community Service Award, which is awarded annually to a member who's demonstrated devotion of time, energy, and attention to this organization and to the law school communities. In addition, and I think this is a beautiful part of what he does, he's really a South Bend mainstay when it comes to community service and volunteerism. An active member of St. Joe Parish, he also volunteers each week at the downtown soup kitchen during his lunch hour on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And when I asked him how long he'd been doing that, 36 years, right? I mean, there's some commitment. And then upon retirement, he works with all kinds of things around the community in his spare time while he's not fixing bikes and back to teaching. He was also the play-by-play announcer for the Clay High School boys soccer team. Another little tidbit. He's joined by his wife, Mary Henriksen, dear friends that I'll let him share with you, but please join me in a huge congratulations for our 2024 Dr. William P. Sexton Award winner, Dwight King.
Thank you so much. Dolly mentioned that I should mention the people I brought along with me today for my tables. My wife, Mary Hendrickson, 3 co-workers, Carmela Kinslow, Dan Manier and Joe Thomas, my brother Doug King, and Dr. Davida Gardner. Thank you all for joining me. If you saw this year's Oscar ceremony, you know that several winners wanted to thank their publicists. I also want to thank my publicists, Aggie, Dan, Mary Kate, and Meg Mannix, all proud Notre Dame graduates, for nominating me for this award. I also want to thank my main publicist, my wife, Mary Hendrickson, because I know that without her help, this nomination could not have been as detailed as it was. 4 things have been important to me in my time at Notre Dame. 1, enjoying professional success as a law librarian and teacher. 2, serving as faculty advisor for the Black Law Students Association. 3, volunteering at the Downtown Soup Kitchen. And 4, serving as the university's ombudsperson for discriminatory harassment. For much of my time at the Notre Dame Law Library, my title was Head of Research Services. Although I was an administrator, I most enjoyed the hands-on work of helping faculty, students, and members of the public with their legal and non-legal research needs. I was proud of the acknowledgments I received from professors in their books and articles. I was happy to help journal students who were trying to locate and cite sources for periodical articles. I was proud that word passed within the South Bend community to people handling matters on their own, that they might stop by the law library for help with research questions. My proudest achievement in assisting a layperson occurred when a woman thanked me for having helped her win a $1 million damage claim. I was honored to receive the Reverend Paul J. Foyk Award for a significant library service to the Notre Dame community in 1997. I was also the 2011 recipient of the Captain Dean McLean Award for exceptional contributions to Notre Dame Law School community life. A primary responsibility in my law librarian role was to teach first-year legal research. My teaching methods were influenced by 2 people, one from my undergraduate years at Michigan and one from Notre Dame. My first-year Spanish teacher gave us frequent assignments. Whatever we got wrong, we were expected to redo until we got it right. Fast forwarding to my time as a teacher, I gave students in my legal research section weekly assignments. Students had to pick up their graded assignment from me in my office. I would review each assignment with each student. If I thought they were not performing satisfactorily, I had them do certain problems over again until they were correct. I thought this type of personal attention helped them learn. The other teacher who influenced me was Professor Dennis Jacobs, once an associate provost at Notre Dame, and now provost and senior vice president for academic affairs at Fordham University. He taught chemistry, a weed-out course at many institutions. Dennis had the philosophy that if students couldn't understand chemistry, it was his fault as a teacher, not their fault as a student. My legal research course is not as complicated as a chemistry course. But I always felt that if students didn't do well in legal research, it was mostly my fault, and I adjusted my teaching methods accordingly. It was my duty as a teacher to make sure all of my students were at least competent in their research skills. One of the many things I cherish about my time at the law school has been my involvement in the Black Law Students Association. Although I was not active in the association during my first year here, I became so after the Balsa students gave me an appreciation award. I think just because they appreciated seeing me here. My great-grandmother rented rooms in her home to young black men attending the nearby university at a time when they were not allowed to live in the dorms, but they were welcome at her home. Her story inspired me. I decided that I would try to welcome every black law student to the law school by having Balsa students gather for dinner at my home at least once and often twice during the academic year. And thanks to Mary and for many years our children for helping me make that happen. I'm extremely proud of the award Balsa created in my honor in 1996, the Dwight King Service Award, given annually to a Balsa member who has devoted time, energy, and attention to service projects that benefit both Balsa and the surrounding South Bend community. One of my ways to support the South Bend community is working at the downtown soup kitchen at First United Methodist Church. Fortunately for me, my library director supported my desire to leave at midday, 3 days a week, and travel there. Over my lunch hour, I worked with other volunteers to feed some of South Bend's underserved. I've continued to volunteer at the soup kitchen now that I'm retired. I do believe that you find true happiness by helping others. One of the themes of Catholic social teaching centering on the idea of helping others is the dignity of work and the rights of workers. I don't pretend to be an expert on Catholic social teaching, but I saw my position as ombudsperson as a way to further this theme. I felt valued through my work at Notre Dame, and I wanted others to feel the same. During my 17 years as ombudsperson, I was a sympathetic ear for staff and students who felt discriminated against because of race, gender, age, etc., but didn't know where to turn for help. I referred complainants to the Office of Institutional Equity for further investigation of their concerns. This process furthered Notre Dame's efforts to provide a respectful environment for all. From my many years on the law school admissions committee, I know that the students admitted to Notre Dame are strong academically, often leaders in high school or college, and frequently involved in many community activities. My job as a librarian and teacher was to do my part to help these students hone their research skills and perhaps to mentor some of them along their law school journey. I've been inspired by the many terrific things ND law students have accomplished. I'm particularly impressed by those who have overcome tremendous obstacles. Recent examples include a blind woman who went on to become a Supreme Court clerk, and a woman who grew up as the child of a drug addict, but while a student here, helped found the law school's Exoneration Justice Clinic, and a young man who spent his senior year in high school homeless and went on to become an editor of one of the law school's journals. These students, like you, have used your Notre Dame education to do great things, and I applaud you. I thank Notre Dame for giving me the opportunity to work with so many wonderful people in my 34 years here, professors, deans, librarians, and staff. I came out of retirement to teach legal research again this past fall. I'd be happy to continue teaching for a little while longer. Thank you again for presenting me with this award. I was surprised to be nominated and so proud to have won. Thank you.